Test, test, test. Can everybody hear me? Oh, I hate it when I can't see the thing, the little animation. Hey, Deb. Hey, Cindy. Thank you for sending me that message, Deb. That was great because I did finally get some sleep, and poor Rhea put an APB out on her, to find out if she was okay because I guess the reason I was like, so concerned was because um she wanted me to watch some videos and I didn't quite get to them or I couldn't get the link or something like that. And so it just seemed weird um that that she wouldn't be around to give me the link or whatever, like it just seemed weird. Like I can't not really in like a behavior kind of way, but just kind of like, oh, that seems odd. Like it was off to me. And so, but it's kind of strange because she dropped her phone in the creek, which is or water somewhere. I don't know, but that's pretty good intuition, I, I don't know. And so I always because like I would say, well, I'd say the majority of the time when somebody gives me a video to watch, I watch it, even if it's something I disagree with, just because I know what that's like when someone like when you want to share something with somebody and they don't want to see it, and but you're just trying to help, and so trust me, I can go way off in the weeds with some stuff that I watch, um for the sake of covering all the bases, and humble enough to know that I'm not right about everything, what's up, Sasquatch? It's good to see you. Sharing is caring. Hey, I had a friend, right? My best friend in the army. Um, I don't want to say his name, but usually when I talk about him, I say his name, But um, he used to say that all the time. Sharing is caring. And interesting to bring him up is that way back in 1999, right? So this is like way back, right? But way back in 1999, he was talking to me about like Illuminati stuff and um, I mean just stuff that we would probably be considered crazy at that time, right? And there was no, I mean, we had internet, but it wasn't like it is now, And for him to know what he knew 20 something years ago was pretty remarkable because I think it was me being friends with him at that time um, that left me so open minded when I started seeing stuff about it later. Talk about planting seeds, right? And he was very good at explaining things. Like like I think the first thing he brought up to me that was quite, that I questioned, right, was Christopher Columbus discovering America, right? And he goes, "Wasn't there already people here?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is interesting, right? Like there's already people here." And it's a strange word to use, discover, right? I discovered it, but there was people here, and um, it's weird that like 9 out of 10 people will tell you that Christopher Columbus discovered America. The other 10% will tell you it was some other explorer, Amerigo Vespucci, whatever, right? Someone else, right? Vikings, and but the reality is that no, like there was people on this continent, and so it really opened my eyes, right? To it opened my eyes to um, agendas, you know. And so I would not be where I'm at today without that man in my life, right? Like he was probably uh as far as best friends go, he probably has done more for me as a friend in that regard than anybody, you know. And I sure do miss him. I mean, I still talk to his kids, you know, because I mean, his kid used to babysit my kid, you know, when she was like 12 or whatever. And my, you know, she was a very mature 12-year-old, and she did such a good job because she used to watch her sister. And now you would never leave a baby with a 12-year-old, but she was an exceptional kid, very smart, like almost a genius, and she still is like very smart. And yeah, you know, she's very young and she's got a certain type of diabetes that you get when you're a kid, and that's a tough thing to deal with. And so she has her own trials and all that. But yeah, that was a special family, you know. That was a special family. I would do anything for his kid. I think he had two kids already, and then I remember that excuse me, that he had a third kid that was just born, a baby. When he just got back from Iraq, the baby was born. I got out of the army, moved back to where we were stationed before, and so I eventually moved back to where I met him from, and you know I got divorced soon after that. So you know we were planning on like being close to each other, and so he got sent to well he went to Iraq. I went to California, which I guess I got the better of the two deals. But it is what it is. And you know, anyway, we didn't have a falling out, but I think I overshared information to where you know sometimes you can share too much and people are just like, okay, enough, man. I don't want to see any more of this stuff, you know. And you know, at that time, him being the only like open-minded friend that I had, you know, like when I first was discovering some of this stuff, it just overwhelmed him. He just, you know, and I still text him once in a while, but I try to give him a break. I kind of went off the deep end when I started to become a truther, you know, like it was a bigger deal to me than I guess people were willing to tolerate from my you know personality. I guess I don't know. I've always been the one to take care of other people. It's never been the other way around, you know. And so sometimes you don't even do nothing wrong to someone. It's just like you're outside of your role for that person. Like they expect you to be, you know, the helper and not the helpee or whatever, or you know, it's just a matter of being in an uncomfortable role, role reversal. You know. Hey, cool guy named Patrick. How are you been, man? I saw your thing. You turned off the comments, but I watch your stuff. Want to let you know that. So, are you Sasquatch? Are you going to be streaming? Are you going to be doing any like 48-hour streams or anything like that? Hey, Faith, how you doing? Hey, Sack Truth. Yeah, I told a little story about my friend, but if you guys want to hear it, you can go back. It's not. I don't know if it's that great of a story, but he meant a lot to me. What's up, Camo? I emailed you back, Camo. I hope. Hope you got that. And so yeah, Sack Truth, man, we live close, man. Like you and I live close together. And so like um I guess I've been a little more skeptical, right? As like to see like what you're all about, you know. Because I don't have a lot of time to be doing all that, right? And I probably put a little bit of higher standard on you because you live close to me, you know. But but yeah, man, you seem pretty cool, man. I gotta watch more of your stuff, you know. I'm just so like I don't know, like I take on the work myself, so it's not no one's fault. Like I take on what I enjoy doing, so you know. But I do stay busy, you know. And so I do gotta check out some stuff over there. I think I saw one about chariots or something like that. It was kind of interesting that I might want to look at again. But yeah, we live close, man. And I know a couple other truthers live out here that anyway. Um oh, your friend? Yeah. Yeah. Well, the first one I saw he was in this poor guy had the hiccups, man, so bad, man. And I was like, "Oh man, why is this guy like continuing with the video? He's got these hiccups so bad, you know?" And you would think that he would stop and then like, you know, just do the video later, but he kept going through it with these horrific hiccups, right? And it was just so selfless, you know, like he didn't care about he was dying of the hiccups, man. And he just kept rolling with the video, you know, and did the whole thing. And I mean, at first it was hard to watch. You're like, "Hey, man, just you know, go drink some water, man, relax," you know. But just when you think about it after it was all done, right? You're like, "Man, this guy went that whole time and didn't even consider his own self," you know. And you know that counts for the lack of awareness of like, not you know, why am I doing a video on hiccups or whatever? He just didn't think of it, you know. Was thinking of other people. And that's a pretty good I mean, hey, I don't know, man. You know, that's pretty good judge a character of something like that, but like you know you don't know someone until you know them, you know, of course, but you know, things like that stick out, you know. And so what's up, Michigander? I don't give the guys enough credit, man, around here, man. We got some good dudes, man, the dudes we have. I need to start mentioning that when I talk about and then I don't want poor AJ took that in a different direction, you know. But he tries hard. I know he does, you know. What's up, Anti Venom? How you doing? Man, maybe I do want to see that with the chariots, man. I do. Because there's some stuff, I mean, it would make sense why they would have all these like um obvious like, you know, alien stories, right? And then the government cover-ups are real, but the alien like information isn't real. So like they give you the sense that they're hiding something, right? But it's like really designed that way, you know, from the jump, you know. And interesting how that deception took place. And yeah, all the dudes are cool here, man. This good this good group of dudes, man. And so yeah, oh, guess what? Like so my mom got the jab, right? And man, oh man, it's been tearing me up inside, you know. And you know, and I'm like, I keep thinking, man, like to try to notice if there's anything different, you know. And she used to like have to contact me every day. Like there wasn't a day that went by that like she didn't text me or call me or something. And like it's been like I guess since that, you know, I don't know if there's any correlation, but since then it's maybe every 4 or 5 days I hear from her. And that's odd, you know, that's odd to be honest. And so I talked to her about that today. And she goes, "No, I think I do message, but you just don't, I don't know, maybe because it's hard to keep up with everything." And so, but you know what? Hey, you know, I'll give my mom props for something. I mean, of course, I give my mom props for everything. She's a good mom, but I'll give my mom props for really helping me with my messages while I was in the hospital because I was very overwhelmed during that time. But yeah, so hey, so Sasquatch, like, so when you stream, like, it's like you go for like, you know, 20 hours, 13 hours or whatever, or, you know, and, you know, 20, 48 hours or whatever. And it's like, it's crazy because, like, I don't know how you guys do that. That's amazing. That's amazing. And yeah, we are. We're so blessed, man. And, you know, um, I don't have very many family members, I don't think, that took the jab. But the ones that did, right, I just tell them, you know, hey, I don't want you to have any more of that stuff, you know. And so hopefully they don't do it, you know. I don't know, you know. It is up to them. I'm grateful my kids haven't got it. I'm grateful. I mean, I'm grateful my brother didn't get it. I was surprised too. And so I just know this: if you do it to get it out of the way, you know, it's just going to be another one and another one and another one. There's no way. There's no. This is not a possible thing to just do it and get it out of the way. You're either gonna. I mean, it'll never end. You know, and that's what terrifies me. You know, and so I like when this whole thing started, right? I just made like, you know, I just kind of like made a decision like right away. Like, okay, if they say, Stephen, we're gonna cut off your, you know, your military money and all that, right? Well, then so be it. You know, they could keep it. I'm not gonna keep. There's no way you're gonna have me on no installment shots and all that. I'm not doing that, man. Yeah, no way, man. I'm not doing it. And if it's not so much, right? Um, I wouldn't even care what's in the thing, right? Even if it was all good and vitamins, right? It's like for people to act like it's unreasonable to be skeptical is absolutely crazy, you know? Like that alone scares me, right? Like there's no downside. The reason you're not doing it is only because you're selfish. There's no other thing to consider at all. Uh, that's terrifying. That's terrifying that that would be the message, you know. And because I remember when I was in the hospital, and man, they're not supposed to, so HIPAA laws, they're not supposed to tell anybody else your medical stuff, but they would ask me loudly to where other patients could hear it, and it would cause peer pressure. You know, it would cause peer pressure because everyone had the impression that if everyone would just get this thing, that the problem would go away. You know, and that the reason why it's not going away is because of that. And so one day I just asked, I said, well, okay, well, what's in it? You know, and the person that, that was offering me the thing didn't know what was in it. And to me, that's terrifying. So you're this, you're the subject matter expert and you put this in your body and you don't know what it is. And that's you know what I mean? It was like terrifying after terrifying after terrifying. And then you add the peer pressure on top of that, and I've never been a peer pressure guy. Like that's the last way you're gonna get me to do anything, is by you know, trying trying to push me to do it. That's instant. Like that repels me instantly. Yeah, I know, man. And so this is how I told him, like, right, this was the best way I could describe it then, and I'm not like the sharpest tool in the shed. I'd probably describe it better now, but I was like, yeah, man, if I put like a scoop of green stuff on your plate at a barbecue, like you would ask me what is in there, right? You wouldn't just be like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna eat it. I mean, I get it. Like, okay, if your grandma makes something, you probably wouldn't question it so much, right? It's made with love, right? But like, you're not gonna eat something you don't know what it is, right? And like, so why are you going to put anything in your body you don't know what it is? Like, especially if you should know better, you know? Your whole family has wow. I can't even tell you guys the last time I've been sick. I mean, I had my stomach issue, last year, I don't know, yeah, about, yeah, 6 or 8 months ago, I got out of the hospital and, I'm starting to have a little bit of issues now, but I haven't had my stomach medicine 2 days. I didn't go and get my refill on my stomach medicine, and I probably should. This is how I got the problem last time was by neglecting my health. You know, I was streaming at that time 6, 8 hours a day, and I was I completely ignored my channel. And I just pushed myself too much. But whatever. We're running out of time. Like I get the sense that like I mean like in my mind I'm thinking like we don't have a year left. Like I'm thinking that it's that like a year more is like an absurd amount of time in my head to to say that like I mean to say we're going to be here years is I would be shocked by that. Or that like things haven't kicked off in a very real way by then. Let's put it that way. At the very least, right? And like in my mind there's things that I would do now obviously and take care of things in a different way if we had if we had a long time to go, right, then I would handle things differently. But the way I look at things right now is that like we're running out of time. It's like forget about the games, right? Trying to get prepared, right, for things to be hostile. And not just hostile but like still be able to have joy and hope and which most of us have. Like that's something I've noticed is that most people have that already, is to have that the joy and the hope and the peace, right? That we might be able to pass to someone else that might be in some fear. That there's another step, right? There's another place to go. There's another level to this, right? And anybody can have it. And that's I can't think of I mean, I'm pretty happy with the with how it worked out. I don't know, like it could be worse, right? Like I mean, I don't see how anybody would have a problem with the way things are. And yeah, I mean, isn't that amazing, right? That like we're moving on, we get everlasting contentment, we're never gonna die. Like that's I think those are all great things. And okay, some people are hung up on like why is this like why is there sin in the first place, or questions like that you would expect from an atheist. And you're like I don't know. Like the best reason to believe in anything is because it's true. you know And then on top of that, you can feel whatever you want about it after that, right? But it is the way it is, and I'm pretty happy. And like it definitely could be worse. Yeah, so be it. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, you know, you got to deal with it. I mean, well, I mean, not all of us, I guess, right? Like, if you're around at the end, right? Do you die or do you just change? You know? Uh, but yeah, normally, right? It is appointed for every man once to die, right? That's scripture. So maybe there is some, I don't know. I don't know what the process would be at that point. I know that we get changed in a twinkling of an eye, right? If you're alive at the end, right? So is that some kind of death? I don't know. Does it hurt? Who knows, right? I don't know, right? But interesting things to think about. But there's, of course, everything's collapsing around us, so it's like, um, got to think of ways to navigate. Like, so I'm not a prepper, right? And I'm not against anyone prepping. Like, get, do whatever you got to do, right? But if I have a choice to extend my life 2 weeks and have to end up guarding a pile of stuff, right? Like, I don't want to do that. Like, of course, I don't want to be hungry. That's not the way I want to die. But I'm not scared of death for sure. Like it would not break my heart for them to come now, and it is what it is. So, hey, oh yeah, no problem, Faith. Do you still want to do that tomorrow? Because I mean, I wouldn't even mind like taking even more of like a little break or whatever. Um, and then just whenever. Because I did talk to Tom about some things, right? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get him to come back live, right? So it might be a different situation unless I change the times and stuff. But I did get some confirmation that someone would help me, um, and can start soon. And I think that would be good too. Like, so I mean, I am getting like getting things situated, but I definitely want you to help as much as whenever you want to do that. But like, also the main thing is like the family, God first in your family, right? And so yeah, that's so anyway, you know, you already know. I don't need to tell you this. And so, oh man, why does Mister? Hey, did any of you guys ever watch Mister Thrive and Survive? I I like his flat Earth stuff. Okay, Monday's better. That's great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be awesome. Monday's good. Do you guys watch Mr. Thrive and Survive? I mean, he has said some stuff that just kind of he did say some stuff that alarmed me a little bit. But overall, I like his flat Earth stuff, and because he's thorough and he does the work. He's not afraid to do the work. But he does sometimes scare me with some of the stuff he says. And he thinks that politics are real, and that's one level. Some people think it's still real, and you know, God bless them. There's nothing wrong with that. They're just not there yet, you know. And you want to believe that everyone is autonomous, right? That everyone works on their own, right? Uh, but man, this it's so much deeper than I ever thought it was. And people act in a group more often than they're autonomous. And so you think of all these singular people, growing up, like becoming adults, making it as people, you know, uh, becoming whatever success they are on their own, right? But I mean, the reality is that most people don't go to work for free, like, so it's there are things that happen at your job, right? That people, the regular public, don't know about. That if they did know about it, would be very surprised, right? And that's in every industry. Like that's not unique to politics. It's not unique to banking. Like there's people working at McDonald's right now that, oh, if you knew how this place was run, really, like you guys would never eat here or something. And so there's always a conspiracy going on. It would be it would be shocking that there wouldn't be a conspiracy. And so what the general public doesn't know is pretty much about everything. So like when you're a kid, right, and you like really have this belief, right, that the adults have it all figured out. Like, oh yeah, they're, got the president, he's doing his thing, right? And you got some scientists, right? They're working on stuff, right? And you think everybody that's smart and is a scientist is trying to find a breakthrough discovery that will help humanity. Uh, but I mean, reality is if someone made a car that just ran on air, right? They would probably kill them. And it's sad to think about that, but it's just weird how naive we are. Like, we're thinking that there's all these independent scientists that, uh, are looking for like their next invention. And yes, this world is sin. It's just full of sin. And it's it's not about like the good people versus the bad people. I mean, it's about their like, unless you're a child, right? Your birth certificate is pretty much proof of guilt. Like if you're a human being, you're guilty. And yeah, it's just weird how upside down our thinking really is because we don't start off like on a we don't start off with a good foundation. Uh, it's like we're just taught from the very beginning uh, things that aren't true, right? And what your subconscious does, right? And it's interesting, right? Is when so like okay, let's say the Earth isn't moving, right? But like if you believe that you are moving, you will do all kinds of things to reconcile why it doesn't feel like you're moving. So your brain's doing all this work, right? Like, oh, we're not moving because we're going the same speed, or we're not, or I don't feel it because the air is attached to the ground, right? like, like you'll do all these things but it's even subconsciously, even when you're not thinking about it, right? So everything that's off, right, your brain will try to make right to protect you. But once you're in reality, that's why it feels so free when you start discovering stuff. That's why there's that feeling of relief, right? And you're almost addicted to truth when you start. It's video after video after video because you're getting this release. The things that you thought could never be true are coming true. And yeah, I know, man. If we That's funny, Michigander. But I mean, hey, but I would say that more people would get along. Let's put it that way. And yeah, and it's like if well, that's why we're in. See, Luke, that's why we're in the situation we're in, right? Is rejection of the truth, right? So every time you reject the truth, right, you accept something that isn't real, and it causes another problem, right? And every lie, degrades us even more. And so, the bigger the truth, the bigger the consequence, right? So, like, of course, oh, sorry, I was banging my microphone around a little bit. So, like, Jesus is the ultimate truth, right? Like, so truth becomes profitable at that point, right? That when you finally get to what life is really about, right? That they're hiding, Jesus from us, right? They're hiding God from us, right? And, though, everything's inverted. And so when you redefine what right and wrong is every year, to where this used to be weird, but now it's not, or, and you're changing, well, okay, it was weird last year, but this year it's acceptable. And now this next extreme is acceptable. And then this next, so the world is slowly being assimilated, right? But if you aren't like zombified and going with it at the speed of, their program, right? The world makes these big jumps into like, wow, the world got evil pretty quick, man. It's a big old chunk. Like, why is there a snake on every logo? Like, how did that happen? Like, but to the average person, it slowly happens. It slowly happens. They slowly assimilate to it. I mean, before you know it, all you eat is poison. There's no food in there. Like, like I don't think Adam and Eve were meant to have Twinkies and, a Coca-Cola or whatever, right? But, you know, those things are part of life now. And there was a time one and I've always kind of had like an addictive personality, but like one thing that I really had a problem with was those Monster energy drinks, like in my, I'd say my mid 20s, right? And I mean, I was drinking at one point like five of them a day, right? And at that time they were like $3, So we're talking $450 a month habit of like, this is a soft drink, right? Like this is like, I mean, that's insanity, right? And there's nothing in there. I mean, some B vitamins, whatever, right? But like really nothing in there that's really helping me. It's all degrading me, right? And so the assimilation to that point, right, was slow to where you're getting to where you're drinking Monster Energy drinks like that, right? But if you like started like Adam and Eve on their very first day of life, oh yeah, here's like five monsters a day, start drinking these, right? They would be sick, they would just be sick. And and we just don't see it happening. We don't, and the worst part is that they get our consent. We do it to ourselves. They put the ingredients on the thing. We can't pronounce half that stuff, you know, and can't spell most of it, right? And even when we do look up stuff, it's like there's some stuff that's not good for you, but it's not exactly bad for you, so it's allowed to be in there. But then if you eat another product with some other thing in it that has, it's not, real bad for you, but it's not good for you either. But then those two things mix, then it is bad for you, right? Well, then they got away with like, hey, we told you what was in this, and then you made that combination on your own. And then they'll give you a straw man, right? Like, oh yeah, don't pop rocks and soda pop, right? But then you find out that's a myth or something, right? And you're, oh yeah, that's not real, but it is real. Like there is dual agents that you like if you have them together, it's just disastrous. And in medicine, it's all the time they call it contraindicated substances. Oh yeah, kill your liver. Yeah. Well, it's like this, right? Like, let's say you're prescribed one medicine and then you're prescribed another medicine. On their own, they wouldn't kill you, but together they can, in that sense, right? And I guess like this happens, I guess, with pain and anxiety medicine. I guess if you take pain medicine and you take anxiety medicine, if you take them together, you could stop breathing. But there's other things that do that. I mean, everything that we do. I mean, you can't just go and not live your life, right? I mean, of course, it's like if you're a car guy, right? Driving your car is bad for your car, of course, right? But like part of having a car is driving it, right? So you can't like be like paranoid of everything, but being careless is bad too. And so that's how they get you to consent. That's how they get you to consent. Yeah, and did you hear that, like, Camo, did you hear, like, what, Gates said? He was like, in order to find out, uh, what the side effects are gonna be long term or, like, in 2 years, you have to wait 2 years. I mean, that's terrifying, you know? Yeah, yeah, well, Karen, he's telling the truth. You know, he's telling the truth that there are like there's a lot of artificial sweeteners that will be like that too. Like because there's you know just in natural sugar, right? Sucrose, glucose, and fructose, but like fructose, right? Even though it's the same structural formula, it's got a different empirical formula. So like when you ingest fructose, it's not like regular sugar. It will stay real fatty in your liver, and that's what you know you'll gain weight faster. It's not good. You won't digest it. It won't be like regular sugar for your brain and for your body, right? Like poison, basically. And so like that's why there's people that like would rather have um like Coca-Cola from Mexico because they use a different sugar. They don't use this high fructose corn syrup, that we use in America. And it reacts on you in a different way. And all it is a different molecular configuration. It's the same, you know, it's the same thing. It's just structured different chemically. They don't have to do it like that. Like, yeah, I mean, Camo knows, man. The whole industry is just. I mean, just to make food and ingredients and food chemicals is just insane. Yeah, but see, sugar is a blanket statement, right? Like, there's many different formulas for sugar, and yeah, it's pretty terrifying. It's pretty like I've never like looked into anything that eventually didn't just like really terrify me. Like like every conspiracy that I ever looked into that wasn't, ridiculous, right? Uh like I'm like, wow, these are coming true at a remarkable rate. Like, I mean, I laugh because it's uncomfortable for me, right? Like, it's the only thing to do. It really is literally everything is bad for you, you know? And then you find out, oh man, music and TV and food and all this stuff, right? All these things I enjoyed, right? It's all my memories, right, of having a good time involved some kind of thing that they were doing to me, But right, not to not to degrade our mood, right, with things like that, right? But because of that, right, and because that's all predicted in the Bible, right, it gives us the confirmation to know that because these things are happening, right? And for somebody 2,000 years ago to write about that how bad things are going to be for us right now, and to say things like Prince of the Power of the Air without knowing anything about radio or TV or that's pretty good confirmation. Like you're like, wow, the devil really is just on all the airwaves, and the image of the beast, right? That it has new meaning when you have screens everywhere, right? I mean, it could mean multiple things, right? But like, you're just like, wow, like, not. I mean, it sucks that like that this place felt so bad, right? But but um, the confirmation of like the hope for the next life is tremendous. Yeah, well, sometimes, it's not that there's any new information on this video or like on videos like this, but it's like that you don't have to hear lies for an hour, like that you can actually like sit there and listen to true stuff that you don't have to like go, oh, this is all crap. Like your brain isn't like fighting it, right? And you know that you're not being harmed right now. You can relax. and it just gives you kind of a release, like, oh, finally I'm surrounded by, like, I don't have to pretend that I'm on a ball, or I don't have to pretend that the news is real just to get along in life. I don't have to ignore that, there's poison in my milkshake, right? Like I could sit down, listen to somebody that's not going to lie to me, that doesn't want anything from me, and isn't going to deny things that are true, you know? And even our loved ones, our closest loved ones, will take the side you know, of the government over us. It's like, I mean, it's not them and it's not us. It's just that's how the program is. And we're all affected by it. We're all abused, obviously, right? And so, you know, I don't know. But if you walked into your doctor's office and they were wearing, like, a witch hat, had a broom, right? That, like, obviously they're a bunch of witches, right? But it's the same thing. They're a bunch of witches, but they're like wearing coats, white coats. It's just a different uniform, right? And so, they're still going to give you some kind of like potion to take, like, oh yeah, try this, and this should make you feel better. And it's just it's just the easier symptom, so you can continue dying, in comfort, I guess. But what we really are is inside these bodies. And I'm like, I can't wait to take off this meat suit. I'm like disgusted by my own flesh. It's like I just like I'm ready to move on and not be tired, not be hungry, not be and have nothing hold me back from serving God the best way I can. Not not crave things that are bad for me. I want out of this thing. And yeah, it is cliche, but it's coming down to making a choice, right? You can't keep your thoughts to yourself when you're right, when you're making decisions that, yeah, taking that or not taking that. Yeah, eventually. So this is the last generation of people, maybe our kids, right? Our next generation. This is the last generation of people that are going to be fully autonomous. Like, being in charge of your own body is over. And so, uh, you know, that's that makes the mark of the beast very real. It's not only possible, but it's going to happen. It's very morbid. And so, yeah, there's not going to be anyone that's, yeah, me too, Mike. I agree. I will absolutely. There's certain hills that are worth dying for. And but there are going to be people that are. I mean, it will happen. There's going to be people that consent to this thing for a meal, for $100, for attention. I mean, it really is. Yeah, that. Hey, but Karen, but it's always been that way, right? Yeah, we're at a point now where he's all we have, but a lot of us knew, and you probably knew a long time ago that he's all we need, right? And so, like, if people can assimilate to that, right? If people can accept that Jesus is all we need, uh, then they're going to be fine, right? You submit to God and do it His way, and we're out of here, right? He gives us a choice, you know, and really the choice He gives us a choice just out of our own dignity. He has respect for our dignity as people, right? That we can choose to be with Him or not, right? It has to be real. He wants us to want Him. Like, if we don't want Him, He won't make us go. And so, it really does come down to that. And and it's all about Him. He gets all the glory for that. I mean, because basically, we get the death penalty, and He takes our place. I mean, I can't think of anything better than that. I can't think of anything else that would show love. I mean, that's what I would do for my kids. I would die for them, you know, even if they messed up, right? I would still die for them just out of love, you know? And so, you know, yeah, isn't that beautiful? It's like the most beautiful love story ever, right? And you know, from the moment man fell, there was a plan for to redeem it, you know? And he's always been with us, you know? He's what makes us alive, you know? But there's people that want to ignore him because it doesn't feel good to do bad when you're thinking about that. To them, it gets to a point where um, they stop feeling the pain of doing wrong, you know, and that is somehow uh, to them better, I guess, than you know going through the pain of you know if you do wrong, you feel bad for you know, and eventually you give up and you have a change of heart and your rebellious spirit goes away and you know you accept okay, well now I know that my biggest enemy is me and I need to change, right? And thank God that you know we can get forgiveness and start whenever we want. And it makes sense to me. I don't see the confusion. But I've had people put me to really want to debate things that are just can only really be understood in that way, you know. And so I don't know. You're always going to have Pharisees that want to trap you with all or nothing thinking. It's this or that. Um, and then they take you down a path where they try to trap you, you know, when in reality, like, you know, like you got to consider everything, you know. So I am doing well. Thank you for asking me. Not so now it's Nacho Concern, right? What was it? What was the one before Nacho Ruiner? I can't remember. Oh, Reaction. So instead of Nacho Reaction, right? Reaction Mama. I thought it was gonna be good, but the Nacho has stayed, so that's now it's embedded in now. It would be hard to change that. Yeah, Nacho. I remember it was Nacho Mama at first. Yeah, yeah, very funny. For I mean, for a channel surround like that is like the content is drama, it's done so smart, you know, in a way that like shines a light on what we're actually doing to each other, you know. It's like these are the truthers that we're going to, you know, like what are we doing, you know? Yeah, that's great. That is so great. But yeah, I'm sorry you ran into you know, I don't want to give it any more energy, but um I think I'm more worried about him than I am about you. He ran into the wrong chick, man. That's for sure, man. But anyway, so thank you guys all for coming, and I'm gonna go ahead and round out. And you know, I love you guys. God bless. And did I time somebody out? Oh no, did I time somebody out? What happened? Did I accidentally time somebody out? Oh yeah, hey, if you made a mistake, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No big deal. No big deal. If it's just a mistake, then don't worry about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, yeah. No worries, right? Everything's all good. And so, I'm gonna go ahead and round out. And, I love you guys and God bless and really praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. And I will, see you guys tomorrow at 7 in the morning. And, pray for the kids, of course. See you guys later. Oh, hey, BB. All right, see you guys later. All right, bye.